What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gaming with the Broscast, episode 211. I was gonna say I have my voice is a little bit shot from the allergy season starting up, but that was just a straight up stutter. So, welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Harrison. I am joined by my brother Nick, as always. Nick, how are you doing on this ecliptic Monday? Yeah.
Dude, I'm fully eclipsed right now. I'm feeling real good. We didn't have the full eclipse here in North Carolina, but I did have the glasses. They're pretty cheap on Amazon. They're like $8, but very cool looking through the
some
glasses.
videos like of the totality zone. It's pretty crazy. Like if I lived, I think they had it in Texas and Ohio, and then I'm sure the other states that are in that area, but. Yeah, if I lived near those areas, I probably would have driven just to see it, because that's stuff I saw online was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Like it didn't get dark, but it definitely the lighting just kind of changed, and it was just a weird lighting for 3 p.m. So it was cool.
Yeah. I got my work desk positioned right beside my sliding glass door, so like every couple minutes I'd look outside and it would just got slowly darker, but like in like an eerie kind of way. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it was cool.
Yeah, kind of eerie, but nothing bad happened. No Y2K.
Yeah, no black hole opened up in the middle of Earth and sucked us in.
No particle accelerators running for a random reason on eclipse day. So we're still here, man. We're still here, just like Y2K.
Yeah,
we're all good.
In 2012, I mean,
yeah. Oh my gosh, 2012. Yeah, that was my Y2K.
Yeah.
I was
don't
worried
even think
about
I think I was too young, and like that was like right when the internet was like really getting started. So like, I don't think I even heard anything about the Y2K.
You're like, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be alive, man. But yeah, we are going to talk about some games we've been playing. Some more Dragon's Dogma 2. Nick had a chance to check out Stellar Blade.
Oh, yes,
talk about some decent Xbox news going on, and we are going to end the show with talking about our favorite Wii U and 3DS memories, since the online has officially been shut off at this point of recording. So probably talk about like our launch day experiences, your favorite games, stuff like that. So yeah, Nick, before we dive into all that good stuff, how was your week?
Week was pretty good. Watched NC State men's and women's play in the Final Four, and they both lost. But
yeah, I put some money on State, and I lost my money.
I'm sorry, man.
It's all good.
They played pretty bad, I would say. Like I take that back. Their defense was good, but they just couldn't make a shot.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what matters. Like if you can't shoot, you're not putting any points on the board.
Yeah, you're not gonna win.
Yeah, so that's what happens. I did not put any money on NC State because I was like, I don't want to jinx it. I haven't bet on them yet.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm going to continue that streak of not betting on them. And it didn't work. And we'd also had, me and Alicia we've gone to a different sports bar for each game.
Okay.
So we had changed it up, and man, that still didn't work.
It didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work. It's crazy. I really thought what we were doing would affect the team's performance, but that's just selfish of me to think that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
one day. Yeah,
one day.
But it was a really good run, unprecedented run. So yeah, yeah. Otherwise, it was a really good weekend. Just got outside a little bit. Yeah, did some chilling, did some gaming, played some Dragon's Dogma, Final Fantasy. So it was good, man. It was good. A lot of RPGs.
It's like been your jam this year.
I'm tired of it, bro. I'm ready for a short game. I'm ready for. I picked up Pepper Grinder.
Ooh, yes, I do want to pick that up. I heard that was pretty good. I heard it was like 4 to 5 hours too, which is
that's what's really appealing to me.
Yeah. And so you haven't played it yet?
I played the first Worlds.
Okay.
I think there were like 4 or 5 Worlds. So I guess a good ways into it, but yeah, it's good. It's really good so far.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, but how's your week? How you doing?
It was good. It was it was pretty good, other than the fact that we our AC went down and completely broke. So we got a new one on the way. It's coming tomorrow. Um, which is not something that you I guess it's not something you can just plan for. It just
No.
I mean, every year whenever we've turned on the AC for the first time, we turned it on when we got back home on Mother's Day because it was pretty warm on Mother's Day, or not Mother's Day,
Yeah.
and we were noticing like the house wasn't cooling down, but the air was going, or like it was blowing. And then, sure enough, like after about an hour or so, I went outside and like the line was completely frozen over. So I turned it off. Waited, just I was like, well, we're just got to suffer tonight. We're just got to roll some fans out and be fine. And it was a little bit warm in the house that night, but it was fine. And the next day, I kicked it on again, and it froze over. So
Mhm.
every single year, we've had to replace this one little piece. That the AC guy that we use, he says this thing will either last you a few years or you may have to replace it every year. But like our unit's like 2003, like so it's a 21-year-old unit, so it definitely did its time. And he tried to kick it on a couple times and it kept tripping the wire. He kept tripping the power. So he's like, yeah, it's
It's
dead.
done.
It's done.
Dang.
But luckily it didn't really get too much hotter after that. And it's cooled down again. We kind of had like that little false spring kind of weather for a little
That's
bit.
so nice.
Um, so we should be getting that installed tomorrow. Um, but yeah, other than that, it was a good week. I was outside a bunch, doing yard work and stuff like that, which is good. Saturday when we went to a little cookout with one of our buddies, it was his birthday, so we went over there for a little bit. And then Sunday I planned on playing a bunch of Dragon's Dogma, but I ended up watching the Iowa game, the girls game. Really good game. And then I
Mhm.
started watching the show Parasite, The Gray. It's on Netflix. It's a Korean based show, and I think it's based off of like a manga.
Uh-huh.
Um, which I feel
I've
like
heard of
every
this.
show like nowadays is based off of
Something.
manga or something like that. But it was really good. It only had 6 episodes, and I binged the whole thing like the whole day of Sunday. I just got like immediately engrossed in it. But like the synopsis of it is like it takes place in Korea, and there's these like pods that drop down, and we never really know if they. I'm assuming there's some sort of like alien life form, but they
Mhm.
drop down, and a little like I don't know, almost like a shrimp looking monster crawls out, and it attacks like a human, and it goes into their head, eats their brain, and becomes them.
Jesus.
Yeah, super gory. But then the very cool thing about it is their head split open, and they have like razor blade tentacles, and like their eyeballs are like sticking out like a little shrimp or a crab. It's super gross, but um, it's really good. Uh, so yeah, I'd
Nice.
recommend it. It's pretty good.
Nice. I saw some size. I saw a couple of things about it, and I was interested, but
Yeah, there's a lot like Netflix. I don't know if this is like something they've been like heavily pushing, but there's like a lot of like Korean based shows and stuff like that on Netflix,
Mhm.
and most of them are like zombie based or post apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Um, they're pretty good.
Have Have you seen Train to Busan?
I have not. I do want to
Oh,
see that.
you have to watch it. It's
Yeah, I heard
really,
that's
really
like
good.
one of the best zombie movies ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't wanna get you too hyped up
yeah.
by saying
No,
it's the
I've
best
heard
movie.
some really
That's
good things. I
Yeah.
do need to watch. I do need to watch it.
I think it might be from the same creator who made Train to Busan, who that made Parasite.
Okay, okay. Well, yeah, this one, it's not quite like post apocalyptic. Like there's like it's very kind of like the government like immediately created like this agency called the Gray,
Mhm.
and they go in and are trying to exterminate the creatures. So there's very much like people, most of the world doesn't know about it, but there was reports all over the world of these pods dropping down. But yeah, it's really cool. It kind of reminds me of like the best way to describe like the monster itself is like maybe the oh gosh, what are the Las Plagas monsters from RE4? Like when they've got like the
Okay,
big tentacle, like it looks kind of like that.
that's cool.
Yeah, and like yeah, it's really
Is
cool.
it pretty like pretty realistic looking
Uh, for the most part, I mean, there's some
for the most
like
part?
yeah, I mean, like I feel like the CGI is pretty good. Like, and it's pretty
Nice.
gross when like their heads just split open.
Oh,
Um, but like, and then the main character, like she gets, I'm not gonna like spoil anything, but the creature tries to get into her brain and can't infuse all the way and take it over. So it's like one of those like
she's
mixed persona kind
immune.
of thing. Like she's like a mutant. So one second she'll be herself, and then the other second she'll become the monster. So
Oh, that's
it's
cool.
really good show. Yeah,
Nice. Okay, I'll have to check it out.
yeah. Um, yeah. Other than that, yeah, it was a good week.
Nice.
Nick, tell me about Sailor Blade, because I
Dude,
was pretty high on it last week.
this demo rules, man.
Yeah.
It's cool. I made the mistake of playing it in front of Alicia, and
What
she's
is
like,
this?
"What is this, man? Like what?" Like there's a lot of jiggling going on. Luckily she didn't see the very first scene where it opens up with the skin suit,
Yeah.
which I just thought was so funny.
It's
But
like it's so over the top ridiculous, like you can't help but laugh.
yeah, but I told her about like the controversy around it, and we pulled up her character model. We were looking at it, and she's like, "Well,
Yeah.
at least like she's like realistically portioned." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, she's based off of a real person,
Yeah.
so there's that." Like, and then Alicia was like, "Yeah, I've seen like Final Fantasy, for instance, like even Tifa like is kind of like unrealistically proportioned."
Yeah.
She's like, it's not as bad as that in my opinion." But yeah, we were
Was
just
she
kind of
have she has
laughing at.
she seen you play, like, Bayonetta or anything like that? Because that's, like, super over the top.
She's seen me play a little bit of Bayonetta 3,
Okay.
and also made fun of that one too. Um, but yeah, aside from that, aside from
So
those
you made it
funny,
through and you didn't jerk off, right? I mean,
I
right?
made it. Yeah, I made it through. Didn't do a little JO. So we came out clean. Came out clean
Nice.
for the boys. Um,
So what's the issue then? Why is there so much controversy online? It's crazy.
I know. Yeah, I don't know. People have no self control, I guess. But but honestly, like the demo played really great. I
Yeah.
love. This game feels like a really good mix of something like I don't want to say Sekiro, but like definitely Souls like you said, kind of like Lies of P, like a mix
Yeah.
of that, and then like a faster paced action game, maybe like Bayonetta. But I like how every encounter matters. I like the exploration and the I don't know the kind of like the skill system, and like there's a really cool skill where you can like warp behind an
Yeah.
enemy. Thought that one was really cool.
Yeah, there's, like, double jumping in the game too, so, like
Yeah, it's like almost like very Metroidvania
yeah.
in that
And that's
sense.
why I hate all this stupid controversy because, like, it doesn't matter, and, like, underneath all that bullshit is a fun game. Like, it's actually a like, a really fun game and has a potential to be really good, hopefully. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then the final boss was really great. Like I loved parrying. I just thought
Yes.
that
Yeah.
it felt so good, and like the and granted it's the first boss, but like the moves were like relatively easy to um like they were well choreographed, I
Yeah.
should say. So like it made you feel really cool when you were playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they have that little sizzle reel at the
Yeah,
end, and like that
it
kind
looks
of got me
cool.
hyped up for it.
Yeah, like,
It's
there's, like, the surfing scene where, like, she surfed, like or, like, grinding on the I don't know, the whatever that
it
railing.
looked like a yeah giant like water slide thing or railing. I don't know, but yeah, this game the demo kind of sold me on it for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I definitely think unless, like, the reviews just, like, tank it or something, or it turns out not to be good, like, yeah, I think this is gonna be a day one for me for sure. Which
Mhm.
it'll be my first, like no, I bought Helldivers, but it'll be my my first, like, full priced PlayStation game.
Yeah, dang, Stellar Blade being the first one. That's
Stellar Blade,
crazy.
man.
Yeah,
It looks
it
good.
looks really good. It looks really the story's pretty cool so far. I think it definitely like takes like religious how do you say it? Like, kind of like takes like, oh, what's it called? Taking like pieces of art from, I don't know. It's kind of like historical and art, religious in a little bit of a way with Adam and Eve, and then
Yeah.
yeah. So
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
interested to
I
see.
didn't even catch on that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm interested to see like what else they kind of do with that from the
Yeah.
religion standpoint. So
Yeah. It was
it
cool.
seems like a cool game.
Yeah, and yeah, I was like visually it looks great. Um, the atmosphere is super cool. Like the world is very cool to look at. Just all the anime nonsense that's going on around you is super awesome. Like that whole like beginning scene where you're running on the beach, so cool to see all the stuff going on in the background. So,
Yeah, and then
and
when
it's
your
like a
friends,
crisp 60 frames per second. Yeah, it's good.
hard to come by these days.
Apparently so. Yeah, apparently so.
Yeah,
They
I
just
switched to
they just lied to us this generation.
I switched to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's like performance mode for a little bit, and they have like
Yeah,
a performance. There's two performance modes. One's blurry and one's not. So I don't know why they have both, but
weird.
uh, I switched to the 60 FPS. I was like, man, this just doesn't look as good. Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't look good. So I ended up switching back to 30 and playing on like I've been playing that for the majority of the game. So
But see,
it's
a
just
game
fun.
like that, like I don't feel like needs to be 60.
No, it really doesn't. And like you're battling in real time and you're like dodging and deflecting, but it's not like it's not something on the caliber of Stellar Blade.
Yeah. Okay.
It's less punishing.
Okay. Cool.
But Harrison, I want to hear about your woes with Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah. So like last week, I was not quite as high as I originally was. Um, going into once I got into the Batal region, I just wasn't having as good a time. Like I didn't enjoy exploring as much because like that area is just so cramped with monsters that if you try to run from one, like you're gonna trigger, another monsters like area zone. I was getting very very frustrated, um, and I think it boils down to the fast travel. I really like I get the vision of this of the developer wanting to put exploration out there first, but I don't know. Like I just think at the end of the day, like there's fast travel in there. They just make it a little bit more difficult to
Mhm,
actually use with like the limited resources. But even I mean, even in like the post game, like they drop, like you said last week, they drop fairy stones like crazy. And I know there's a little bit of a time crunch in the post game stuff.
mhm.
Um, but I feel like maybe if they just got rid of the fairy stones and maybe just had like a limited number of the
Port
the, um, the port
crystals.
crystals around there, like the permanent ones, or maybe just gave you, more because I've only still ever gotten the one, like, portable port crystal, that I ended up putting in, Backbatal, but, yeah, that was starting to get a little frustrating, and then, like, having to go back and forth, and then the whole side like I figured for most of that game, like I just never had like an active side quest going because at some point in the story, they all just disappeared, and I didn't really understand like the timing thing with the side quest. So I feel like I missed so much of this game because I wasn't aware that like these things just like time out, and there's no really. Does it tell you when they're gonna end? Like I feel like they just at certain point when you reach the story or certain another certain amount of days pass, like they just drop off.
Mhm.
Like there's a cute like a few like the one I mentioned last week about the person that's following you.
That one
It
just
just
disappeared.
popped up in my quest, or I think maybe one of the pawns had said something, and then nothing else was ever no other hint or anything like that was ever given to me. So I feel like this game is vague and in not a good way. It's not vague in like Dark Souls or Elden Ring kind of way where yeah, you can definitely miss stuff in those games for sure. But I feel like if you in those games, like if you talk to an NPC, they're going to be in a spot where you can see them again, and then kind of go from
Mhm.
there. Like I feel like they always do a really good job of that. I know there's probably some instances where that's not the case, and you have to like
Right.
look stuff
Yeah.
up. But yeah, I just feel like I've missed so much in this game, and I do want to jump into New Game Plus, but um, I really hated fighting the dragons. Like every dragon encounter was not super great. While I enjoyed the overall combat of the game, I feel like it plays really good. The second you get knocked down and like killed, like I know you can kind of mash or go into your inventory real quick and heal to bring yourself back to life. I do that and I'm still getting hit on the ground. Like the fall time is ridiculous. Like the time it takes for you to stand back up after getting knocked down takes way too long. And I know there's items you can use, but sometimes you just don't think about that and like in the moment. And I just kept getting attacked and attacked on the ground, and that was super frustrating.
Yeah.
Um, and then the last boss fight wasn't too challenging after I figured out that you got to go on its head, have it open up the heart, and then it falls down, and then you can do like massive damage. So that wasn't too bad. Um, and then like the whole like the post scene is like so vague. Like you beat the dragon.
Spoilers.
Well, yeah, I guess. Well, you kill the dragon. I mean, that's kind of the main thing. But
It's Dragon's Dogma.
yeah, it's Dragon's Dogma. I mean, there's really no spoilers here. But after the game, like the credits are rolling, and you're back in like the hall or whatever in the castle, and it kind of points you to just sit in the chair and in the game and let the credits roll. But there's a certain someone you can talk to, and it throws you back in time, and then you can like redo this scenario again, but use an item. It's so vague with that stuff. Um, I don't know. I like the game. I love the combat. I hate the Batal region. I think that's probably like what killed it for the most part because I was having such a good time. And
Mhm.
what's the other region? I know we talked about it before the show.
Vermont.
Vermund. I
Yeah.
was having a great time in that. Finally came across the troll that you can knock down and
Oh,
create the
nice.
bridge. Like it's clearly like choreographed like to do so. Um, so I don't know how many instances like that are in the game because like but that didn't really feel natural because like I woke him up and he's just
It's
like
right there.
whoa and then he falls and then like he gives you a lot of time to cross over and then attack him and he falls down.
I mean, there's an achievement for it, so
There is, yeah, it
yeah.
unlocked for me. But yeah, I feel like the vagueness really kind of took away that kind of highness that I was having for the game initially, which is unfortunate. But I do want to jump back into New Game Plus and see what go back to it again because I enjoyed the game. But yeah, the latter half of the story kind of brought me down a little bit.
Yeah, I think the story itself kind of falters, and it goes by really quick in the back half.
Yes,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like once you get into Batal, it's like okay, you're like 70% of the way done with the game. You can do 3 more quests and you're
that's
done.
it. Yeah,
It's very quick, but yeah, I get your sentiment. I'm still really enjoying it. Like I maxed out my magic archer class, and I've just been really just been exploring Vermont, and I
yeah,
took the secret path into Batal.
nice.
Was it the one like under like you kind of can go under the bridge
Yep,
and you
yep.
go into the God, that path was kind of crazy because I fought 3 different um what are they called? Like the dog like the big dog with
Oh,
the thing
not
on the back.
yeah. The oh gosh. Oh man. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I fought 3 of those and then it
It
turned
was
dark.
is it a basilisk? No, it's not a basilisk, is it? No.
No, I don't think it's a basilisk.
No, because that's like the serpent. But yeah, I know you're talking. I'm sure people know you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, I fought 3 of those in a row and then it turned night and then I couldn't see where I was going because my lantern wasn't working. And I spent like the next 20 minutes just like fumbling around and eventually I found
Chimera. Chimera.
Chimera. Okay, yeah. Thank you. So I fought 3 chimeras and then I like got to the end of the path which was like on a waterfall
Yeah.
and it was too dark. Like I couldn't see, so I didn't know how to get down the waterfall, and that took me like 15 minutes to get down. And
Dang.
then my pawn fell, it, like slipped off a rock and fell. Had to go back up and get her, and at the same time there was like a dragon nearby that was about to get aggroed. So like that was like a moment that was very intense. And then I got into Batal and I was like, I kind of want to leave.
Yeah.
I kind of just want to go back to Vermont and explore some more. But like I've already done quests that I haven't done in the first playthrough. Like I got the house, like I bought the house in
Oh,
Vernworth.
you missed that one?
Yeah, I missed it.
Oh man, that
I
one's
didn't even
like
like.
that one came in such clutch in the when you're yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's free. It's free lunch right there. I mean that's
And see, I think what did it for me as far as like the dragon, because I think the final boss fight for the dragon wasn't too bad, but when you it's part of the story. Whenever you're trying to get the worm
the worm
the worm
crystal.
crystals, you have to go to the far left on Batal and like fight that dragon that like the one of the corrupted I don't know what they're called, but like
Yeah,
the one with like the balls all over it. I got up there and I was using what class was I using? It wasn't the warrior. Or maybe it was. What's the one with like the big weapon, like the two-hander?
that's the warrior.
That's the warrior. I had the warrior. Not a good class to fight a dragon at all.
No,
So
unless you can like stun lock it.
yeah, I gone through there and I was just having the worst time. Like I was like, man, I think I might just be done. And I think I ended up figuring it out and ended up beating it after a while. Um, like after like 10 tries, maybe of just having to climb up through there and kill all the goblins and stuff against. I've had a tough time this game. Like
Man,
like
wait,
uh
that I didn't have to fight a dragon with all the boils on it. I went to the area like the shrine where you get the trickster
yeah, yeah.
class. Yeah, that one. Maybe it did have boils on it, but
So
I
I
don't.
didn't fight a dragon over in that area.
Oh,
It
that's where
it
I fought the dragon to get the worm crystals.
oh it yeah, it told me to go to this like dragon roost area.
Oh, I don't know if I
See,
ever went there.
like this game, like it's crazy how many like the fact that you didn't see the the phantom ox cart last
Yeah,
week we were talking about. Like it's crazy to me, but I guess it's something that you could easily miss. Like because I was literally like I had taken the ox cart into Vernworth, and they were like, "Oh, did you see that? Did you see the phantom ox cart?" And then it triggers the quest that pops up. But I had already seen the ox cart prior to that, like a few days, a few days prior to that. So this game is cool, man. It's cool with like all the but I feel like again, like you can miss so much stuff. But I guess
yeah.
you're just supposed to play it. I
Just
don't know a
let
bunch.
things happen naturally, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't, I don't know. Yeah, and like
So
I fought like in New Game Plus. Did you ever go to the ancient battlefield and see the dragon fighting the ogre and then get up to the Sphinx?
no,
Now, oh, man, that area is really cool because like you walk up and yeah, it's just like you look down and it's a dragon just fighting like a
isn't there
giant
like a bunch
ogre.
of like artillery around too?
Yeah,
You can I guess attack.
yeah, yeah. So like in this playthrough, I killed that dragon and that was like a really annoying fight
Yeah,
because everyone was dying and the magic archer isn't a great class for fighting a dragon. But like you get the worm crystals and I'm like, okay, I guess I don't have to fight a dragon later. Like you can kind of do it out of sequence
yeah,
if you want to, which is
crazy.
cool. Like I don't think I would have fought that dragon in the initial playthrough or any other dragon until I had to. But yeah, like it's cool in that regard where you can kind of do things out of sequence, but I get your frustration with like the confusion on how long you have to do a certain quest before it disappears.
Yeah, because I mean, unless I just missed it, I don't think it tells you that there's a limited time, and maybe it does.
And just to check, you were like getting new pawns frequently, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was swapping
Okay.
them out every um yeah. Once I found out that the pawns don't like the other two pawns don't level up, I was swapping them out pretty frequently and
Yeah.
trying to keep it like pretty you always keep like a healer or whatever. um and I didn't realize until the very end that you can change your vocation of your own pawn. Uh
Yeah.
so I was rolling around with an archer the entire time. I'm sure that probably didn't help.
I did too. I don't think I changed my pawn until the end, and I just changed her to a thief.
Yeah.
But I always had like I think I always had a warrior and a mage.
Okay.
And that seemed to work pretty well.
Yeah, I didn't like the warrior class much.
Man, I really like that one
It
too.
was
It
too
feels very
slow for me.
Monster Hunter.
It felt way too slow, and I was just getting bombarded by enemies, and they wouldn't let me up. Like, oh my god, like, yeah, just when you get knocked down, like you're pretty much dead. Like in this game, like
Yeah,
I was just having the worst luck with that. Where they would even though I had the skill or the ability where you're not supposed to get aggroed as much, they would
still didn't
still, as
help.
soon as I get knocked down, they would just tear me apart. So,
Dang. Well, I'm sorry.
yeah, but yeah, I want to I want to get through the post game stuff and then restart it and maybe check out because I saw some trickster stuff today. I have the class, but I haven't actually played it with it yet. Um, it looks pretty cool. Like, there's this one where like you can create like a platform over this cliff, and then you can use like your ghost or whatever that he creates, and he aggroed this ogre, and then put it over the cliff, and then the ogre he went for the ghost thing, and then
Yeah,
fell into the water and died. I was like, that's so cool.
that's pretty cool. It seems very like limited in the use though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever use a Mystic Spear Hand?
I never unlocked it. No,
No.
yeah, I think I did maybe. That's the one that like twirls. He like twirls the spear.
Yeah.
I think I got that, and I think I was, and it was towards the end of the game, so I was starting to get like bodied. So I was like, all right, let me just switch back to the thief because I felt like the thief was really good for fighting the dragons. So I switched back to that and ended up beating the game with with the thief. But so I haven't played any more of the Mystic Spear Hand, but I'll have to give it another shot.
Okay. Yeah, give it. I didn't like it as much as I wanted to. Like I didn't think. I don't know. I just never liked anything as much as the thief. I
Yeah, the
really
thief
like
was pretty. The thief is pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's a good game. I'm gonna
yeah,
have to keep. I'm gonna keep playing it. So we got some more Rebirth. How's the
it's
story going with
going.
that?
This game is long, dude. I'm 34 hours in, and I'm on chapter 10. I don't know how many chapters there are. I'm assuming there's like 15 or 16. So I'm 2/3 of the way through, and like I really really like it. And chapter 9 had some of like the coolest story in it. Like I was really in, and I'm still really in, but the game throws a lot of like big regions at you, and then tells you to do like this checklist of 20 things, and
Yeah,
it's all the same in each region with a few differences. But yeah, I really do love this game. I just want more time to play it,
yeah,
and like I'm torn between doing an area 100% before moving on, or like going through the story and coming back later if I want to. And I think I'm leaning towards the latter at this point. Like I started like for the first two regions, I did 100% of everything, and then for the third and the fourth, so far I've just kind of like done what I wanted to, done what I saw, but didn't seek out like everything else because it's just like a lot of checklisty stuff. Like, oh, go to this tower, go, do this timed battle, this kind of stuff.
yeah,
Nothing nothing too crazy. But like outside of that, the story so far, like those moments are really great, and that's what I'm really gravitating towards now. Like I'm at like a really good spot in the story where I'm very interested in
okay,
what happens next.
sweet.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to finish this before Stellar Blade comes out, and then I'm gonna take a break from the bigger
Big
RPGs for a little
RPGs.
bit.
Yeah,
I don't know how long Stellar Blade's gonna be, but It'll probably be around
I heard
15
like maybe
hours.
15, 20 hours, something like that.
Okay.
So
It's pretty good.
respectable number.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Well, Nick, let's take like a few minute break. I'm gonna go grab me some water.
Okay.
I'm dying.
A little parched.
A little parched.
All right. All right.
Are you ready to dive into some news?
Let's do it.
Sweet. So yeah, Gears 6 is being rumored to be announced. I don't know if it's the Summer Games Fest, but Microsoft or Xbox is doing like a June developer direct, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I could definitely see them like maybe ending with a Gears 6 announcement or sprinkling it in somewhere in their showcase. Because yeah, I mean Gears 5 came out in 2019, so it's been quite a while. And I could see maybe this coming out sometime next year. I think it's a good time to tease it or something like that, and then go from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I mean, this showcase is gearing up to be pretty good if they show everything they've been working on and tease some new stuff as well. Like, yeah,
Have
I
they
think
announced any of the developers that they're showing off or games that they're showing off, or just
no, I don't think so. But there's speculation about Fable.
yeah. Yeah, we need to see Fable. We haven't seen anything other than that trailer.
Right. Yeah, we really haven't seen anything. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to Gear 6, and I'm so interested in how they're going to handle the ending of Gears 5.
Yeah, because it gives you a choice. Definitely,
Yeah.
which is weird because I don't think they've done that in the Gears before.
No.
So yeah, they do. Yeah, you do get. We won't spoil anything, but yeah, there is a pretty significant choice at the end of that game.
Unless they just pick one as canon.
Yeah, I mean that's what
move
they'll end up doing. Or maybe they have like some sort of way they can track the players' choices. So whatever choice was picked the most out of the players that played, they'll use that as canon. I think that could be kind of interesting.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Man, I don't think a game has really done that before, right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, outside of like Splatoon's Splatfests, I think. Wasn't it the last Splatfest of Splatoon 1 determined the overall theme of Splatoon 2? Something like that. It's like,
I mean, there was
Universe
like
Chaos
the running up to Gears of War 3. There was a poll where if they wanted Carmine to get killed again or not, like one of the 3 or 4 brothers or whatever.
Yeah.
And he ended up surviving at the very end, which I thought was cool. Like it was like a part. Did you play Gears 3?
Yeah.
So there's the part at the very end where he goes down with the helicopter, and you're like, "No, Carmine!" and then he like pops up. He's like, "I survived." That was really cool. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm very excited for Gears 6. Like I love the Gears of War franchise. I think it's a great third person shooter. I thought Gears 5 was pretty damn good. I know like the 2 open world zone stuff, there wasn't like a ton to do like in between there.
Yeah,
But I thought it was an
regardless.
interesting. Yeah, I thought it was an interesting concept. I don't know if I necessarily need Gears to be open world per se. Like I'm totally fine with just it's normal kind of,
just a linear story.
Yeah, linear story. But I don't know. I mean, it could be. I don't know. I trust the coalition. I thought Gears 4 and 5 were both really really great. So
yeah,
I'm excited.
I think that's like what they did in Gears 5 would probably be the extent of what they do in Gears 6, because I can't imagine walking around a bigger world with just how the characters walk in Gears of War.
They're the good old roadie runs.
Yeah, with the roadie runs and
they had like the skid or whatever in the 2 zones.
Right. But that really just like you kind of use that to go from point of interest to point of interest.
Yeah,
with nothing really of note in between.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a couple of like enemies that you'll run into, but yeah, it's pretty bare bones in those areas. But Yeah, I'm pretty excited for year 6.
Yeah, same here.
You want to read the next one?
Yeah, so reports coming out that Xbox is going full speed on the next gen. They are touting backwards compatibility and preservation, and this next generation being the biggest leap technology wise
Yeah.
for Xbox, which I think we've heard before. We've heard that with
Yeah,
the Series X.
it's with
I
these
don't think
companies
shit.
right now. I don't believe you. I mean, they
Yeah,
said the
I
same thing
straight up don't
about.
believe you.
They said the same thing. I mean, like all the stuff promised. Going into this generation, everything's 4K, 60 frames, and like it just has not been the case. Like most
One
of
frame.
Xbox's first party stuff can't even do, an option like a fidelity mode or performance mode. Like that was the big thing last week was Hellblade 2 was announced that it's going to be 30 frames per second with no performance mode. So
Hellblade 2.
yeah, Hellblade 2.
Oh,
It's yeah,
okay, yeah.
yeah. It's
Sorry, I was
it's
thinking
locked at
Helldivers.
30. So again, like the first party companies can't even hit some of these numbers sometimes. So yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Starfield, what was the vampire game? Redfall, like
Redfall.
that one was 30 frames until the patch like 6 months later.
Yeah.
Like, man, it's worse this generation than it was last generation. Like at least last one they like, and maybe this rose colored glasses, but they prioritized performance more so than visual fidelity.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to look back, but I feel like we had more 60 frames per second games
Yeah, and
last year.
ray tracing was like the whole big thing coming into this generation. And while some games can do it, they can't do both at the same. They can't have a good performance mode and ray tracing.
Right. Can't
So,
do both.
man, it's just it's a little frustrating when they're like Xbox like here, like, yeah, it's the biggest technological leap ever in a console. And it's like, yeah, that's cool, and like I don't think that they're necessarily wrong or like I don't believe them per se, but like I don't know, man. This generation just feels. It doesn't feel like quote unquote next gen, right? It just feels like a slight extension from from the
Yeah.
Xbox One era. And I didn't even own a One X or a PlayStation 4 Pro, so I can't even imagine what those people that bought those consoles are thinking right now. It's like, is there really that much of a difference?
I don't think there is. Like, I'm trying to think of a PS4 game, like Last of Us 2, right? Like that game was a end of life cycle game for the PlayStation
Yeah,
4, granted, but like that kind of felt like, okay, this is as good as it's gonna get,
yeah,
and anything beyond that is splitting hairs for the sake of splitting hairs, and you're gonna end up at a point where, like, yes, sure, like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth looks amazing, but at what cost? You know,
yeah,
like at a certain point, I think like developers need to just stop pushing graphical capability as much and start focusing on like interesting art direction,
yeah.
like Nintendo does. It's
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't
it's
know.
tough when like every major AAA game right now is open world. Like every single one
That's
of
the
them.
hard part.
And like
Yeah.
I love open world games, I really do. And I love exploring, but like I don't need every single one to be, and if it's not, in certain circumstances where they're not running good, like I don't know, something's got to give at some point. So I don't know. I'm excited for whatever Xbox does next. I mean, I think I was reading one of Player Essence's tweet earlier. I think he said it best. Like this was like the unintentional stopgap console for Xbox going into next
Yeah.
generation.
Yeah. And I think their plan is to get out before PlayStation
Oh
does.
yeah, yeah,
Like way before. And I wouldn't be surprised if games like Fable, State of Decay 3, if those games like launched simultaneously on
Oh
the
yeah.
next
Oh
system
yeah.
or
I'm sure
close
they'll
to it.
be. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be cross gen. And I honestly like. Right? Do you think there's a good possibility that whatever Xbox has got cooking up next is going to be like holiday 2025? Do you think that's too soon, or do you think it's maybe 2026?
I mean, I wouldn't.
Because I
I
mean,
don't know. I
Sarah
wouldn't
Bond
doubt it.
said,
Yeah.
she said we should be hearing about this stuff, this year, like a holiday of this year. So if they're going to announce it a year in advance, I mean, I feel like it's not unrealistic to think that maybe we'll be getting this next year, and I think that could be kind of huge because I mean, it's pretty much like it's all but confirmed at this point that PlayStation 5 Pro is coming out. Um, and if the PlayStation 5 Pro comes out this year, like that would be pretty huge for Xbox to jumpstart the next generation with
Mhm.
an even more powerful machine. I feel like that could be huge, and then they could drop the price of the Series X to like $400, and maybe even get like the S to like 200 or something crazy, and then I don't know.
Yeah. I just think, and I agree. I think they're probably tired of running in tandem with PlayStation. Like they have no incentive to release a console the same year that PlayStation does. Like why? I mean, that's exactly what the Switch did. Like why would
Yeah,
you wait for the PS6? Like put out whatever console you're going to put out. Have the
and
1 or 2 years.
that's why they were so successful with the 360. Like they were out a year ahead of the PS5. It was
Mhm. Or yeah, PS3.
$200 cheaper than the PS3, $200 cheaper than when the PS3 launched, because that thing launched at 600 if you remember.
Yeah.
And then they quickly dropped the price of that. Um, so yeah, I don't understand why these two consoles have always done that. Like ever since they've always released within the same year and like a month or two apart. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I feel like that's the smart thing for Xbox is to get ahead of whenever the PS6 is coming.
Yeah, like I am excited to get out of this generation, but at the same time, it's like I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah,
As it comes to power, performance, visual fidelity, that kind of stuff.
yeah,
Like you can have the most powerful console in the world, and if you don't have the developers that have the capabilities of developing for a console like that, then you don't have anything worth like talking about. Really,
yeah,
it's like Xbox. Hey, um, Xbox just hasn't like it doesn't seem like they've had the developers to make incredible games like PlayStation has or
yeah,
like Nintendo has.
yeah. I agree. And then we should be getting the Switch 2 next year potentially. So I mean
Yeah.
that'll be an even more powerful, hybrid console, assuming it's a Switch 2. And then Xbox is, kind of rumored to have their own handheld, which is interesting.
Yeah. That
So
I'm excited for.
yeah, that could be really, really cool. Um, depending on the price. Like if it's like $500, I
Maybe
don't know
not.
about
But,
that.
but, but like 299 might be a sweet spot.
Yeah, two ninety
But
nine. That's like a decently powerful machine, and you can download stuff onto it. Like it has like a storage on it. Like that would be really cool.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, I'm excited for Xbox in the future. But even like a PS5 Pro, like I'm just not. I could care
Not
less.
sold on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I could care less about that. Last news story that we have is Roku, the company that makes the little the TVs and the streaming
Oh,
sticks and stuff like that. They're working on a patent that I said that really weird, a patent
patent.
that basically the way it's is designed is when you pause in like your like if you're on a Roku TV and you pause your game, like if you're paused long enough, it's going to run an ad while you're playing or while you're paused.
Okay.
Um, that seems like a little bit invasive in my opinion. I don't. this is a patent. This doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen, but there's talks about it being a potential thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, that seems a little bit invasive. Like I don't mind booting up, a Roku TV and like I get, a bunch of ads on the screen because like, that's how they make their money and stuff. But
Yeah, that's fine.
when I'm in something completely separate from, that device, that's a little strange to
It's a
me.
little too invasive. That's
Yeah.
that's strange. I don't know if that will go anywhere, but that's just weird. Yeah. I don't know. It's very depressing, futuristic kind of stuff. It's like that's what all this energy is going toward, or that's what all this manpower is going towards, just funneling more ads into your face.
Yeah, I
Didn't Xbox, either Xbox or Ubisoft, have like a similar patent where it like can throw ads at you mid game? I might
think
be
there
off
were
base both that.
yeah, I think they were working on some. I'm not sure if that ever came to fruition. But I mean, there's always been talks about having like advertisements like in game, like and in stuff like like a racing game, like having a
Yeah,
billboard, like that's fine, like that's very much realistic. But yeah, yeah, that's a little bit too like meta kind of. I don't know. It's yeah, I don't love that idea.
a little too dystopian.
Yeah, a little too much. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But you know, who knows? I'm eventually like I like all my TVs are Roku TVs just because they're like cheaper 4K options, and the TVs are generally they look pretty good and they
Mhm.
run pretty good. But I definitely want to upgrade to an OLED eventually down the line. But
Yeah.
that'll I'm not worried about that right now. But yeah, Nick, let's that is all the news. Let's dive into the topic of the show, which is like we mentioned before, kind of just celebrating and discussing the Wii U and the 3DS era since it is officially closed down as of today,
R.I.P.
April 8th. So the online service is shut off. You can no longer buy games, which they took away the store a while ago, but you can no longer play games online either, which
Mhm.
is a bummer. But I mean, how many people are realistically playing these things online right now, anyways? So,
Yeah, I mean, the only
especially
real
the Wii U.
thing, yeah, especially the Wii U, but for the 3DS, like maybe Pokemon games, people are still playing.
Pokemon, like maybe Smash Brothers on the 3DS,
Right.
Mario Kart, maybe. There's still there's some games that were probably decently popular, but I mean probably 1,000 concurrents or less, maybe I would
Yeah.
imagine. So not a huge deal.
I'm sure today was the biggest spike they've had in
Oh yeah,
5
I'm
years.
sure.
Yeah.
But Nick, I will start with you since my voice is kind of going in and out. But let's start with the 3DS.
Man, 3DS, the GOAT, man.
So yeah,
I
we'll talk about like your launch experience. Did you get it at launch, and
yeah.
some of your favorite games and overall enjoyment of this system?
Yeah, this one I picked up day 1. I got Pilot Wings 3D and then
Oh
Street Fighter 4
yes, I
3D.
remember them.
I'm not a big Street Fighter guy, but it was cool. Like it was just a cool like kind of tech demo of what 3D can look like on a handheld. And then Pilot Wings, I played a decent bit of, but that launch lineup for the 3DS was very, very weak, in my opinion. And it didn't really pick up. It didn't really pick up steam until what was it, Super Mario 3D Land and then Ocarina of Time
Yeah,
3D. Like those were two like pretty heavy hitters. And then Mario Kart 7 was also a really good one.
yeah.
But yeah, the first like year of the 3DS was pretty rough, and then they had like the voucher program or the whatever
The ambassador program.
ambassador program
Yeah,
when they reduced the price by $50. So that
because
was
what
weird.
did it launch at? 350,
I know it launched at 300 and then they
300.
reduced it to 250, I think.
Interesting. Okay, it's pretty expensive for, but
Maybe even
well,
225. I don't know, but it was a substantial discount like within 4 months of launch
yeah.
just because the sales just weren't there.
Yeah, I
Which
mean, it
makes
ended
sense.
up being like the worst handheld that Nintendo. I mean, it sold pretty good, like
It sold like
overall, but yeah, it
80
was
million,
yeah, but it was like the worst out of all the major handhelds.
which is sad because at the end of its life cycle, it had one of the best
It's cooking. It was
lineup.
cooking.
It was
Yeah.
absolutely cooking, man. I mean, they had 2 Fire Emblems on there.
Yep.
Actually, no, 3. Sorry, 3 Fire Emblems.
Awakening, Conquest, and what was the other one? They did like the Pokemon thing with the Conquest one, right? It was like
Yeah,
Conquest
the
and something
Pokemon
else.
thing and Birthright, and then they had the, Fire Emblem 2 remake, Shadows of Valencia.
Okay.
That was like 2017 when it released, so it was within Switch territory.
Yeah.
So I don't think it did very well. But, like, yeah, it had, it revitalized Fire Emblem. There was a 2D Metroid on there, which was pretty cool.
Samus
Link Between
Returns.
Worlds. Yeah, Samus Returns. I mean, it had a Link Between Worlds.
Oh, that yeah, one of the
That was
best.
a banger. Like, Luigi's Mansion 2, I thought was really good.
Yeah, I
People are,
like that
like,
one.
sour on it now, but I thought, it was a fun enough game. I think I dropped it and then came back to it years later and finished
Yeah,
it,
I mean
but
that was probably the most different one because it was level based and not just like you couldn't just go like through the mansion or whatever. So like that's probably the weakest one out of the three in my opinion. Um,
yeah.
but it was still a pretty good. It was still a pretty fun experience.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Resident Evil Revelations was a
Classic.
was a really cool 3DS game. Um, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, that one was
Did you play
incredible.
Xenoblade on 3DS?
I did.
Okay,
I didn't finish it, but yeah, I picked it
that
up.
was like that was like the that was like the new like it only ran on the new
Yeah,
3DS. Yeah,
it was
weird.
like one of the 2 games that
Yeah,
only ran on the new 3DS.
yeah, that was strange.
Yeah. And like Fantasy Life, like kind of like smaller, like weird RPGs had
You
a
got
had a great home on the 3DS, like Bravely
Street Pass,
Default.
man. Street Pass was so
Street Pass was
so
lit.
fire, dude. Oh my god, I loved it. Like the few times that I went to like an airport and flew, like just the amount of like notifications you would get was so awesome.
Yeah.
The game itself, like once you got into the like it was pretty light, but it was still cool to like see people around you that and like different locations. Like it was super cool. Like I don't know why they didn't do that with the Switch. Like uh, that's like the one thing with like between like the Wii U and the 3DS that like they felt like they had a ton of personality, and the Switch very much doesn't. Like as far as like the eShop and like the
Right.
music and stuff and the Mii's, Street Pass, like it kind of lost all that kind of like unique stuff. But obviously, the Switch is a goaded system. But yeah, I did admit like specifically Street Pass was so cool.
Yeah. Street Pass is great, especially having it in college too
Hmm.
was really cool. Getting a lot of Street Pass hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3DS, man, really great. Probably my if we can do our like top 3 games or something, but um yeah, what are your top 3 games for the 3DS?
Oh man. I'm trying to think because like probably like probably I really liked Majora's Mask a lot. Like I thought that was a great
Mhm.
remake of that game. It looked great. I guess I'll just combine Ocarina of Time and that one because like they're obviously different, but like those two remakes were really really good on the 3DS.
Yeah.
It just streamlined the controls. It streamlined the menu system and stuff like that. Like it really was like those are like the best versions of those games for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think what like I liked what was it the Mario and Luigi game, the one where like is
Was
it
that
Dream
Dream Dream Drop Distance?
Dream Drop?
That's obvious.
No, it was something Dream, like Dream Team or
It
something like
is
that. It's
Dream
like
Team. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's like the one where like you can go like Mario goes like kaiju and you can like turn like the 3DS sideways and like battle and stuff like that. Like that was really cool. Um, I'm trying to think of the other games, to be honest. I did play a little bit of Conquest. I didn't love it. Again, not a huge Fire Emblem guy. Um, what else? I mean, I feel like all the
see.
Pokemon games were pretty good. Like X and Y was okay. Like it wasn't my favorite in the world.
Yeah,
Um,
I
there
enjoyed
was like
Sun and Moon
yeah,
for
Sun and Moon was pretty good. Um, so yeah, all the Pokemon stuff was good. I'm trying to think what
Shovel
else was
Knight,
on there.
banger.
Oh, Shovel Knight, dude. Yes, that was like the start. Yeah, Shovel Knight was great on the 3DS. And I think the 3D technology, I think it worked really well, especially on excuse me, the 3DS like new XL whatever,
Yeah.
like huge screen. Like that thing is almost as big as like the Switch screen. Like that thing was massive. Yeah, once I got that because I started with the original like 3DS. I got the purple edition. Um,
Mhm.
my wife had got me that for Christmas, and because I didn't get it at launch, I waited quite like a couple of years. Um, that was really kind of the time where I really wasn't super into gaming for whatever reason. I just think I had just started like my bartending job, so like I was there most of my time, and then we get off and
Yeah.
go to a different bar and then come home and sleep in and then get up and then pretty much go back to work and stuff. Uh, so I didn't have like a lot of time for gaming, so like I missed a lot of that kind of era. Um, but yeah, I ended up getting one. Got obviously Ocarina of Time, played through that, and then I got the
Mhm.
the the 3DS XL and loved it. And then that's because I think I got that with Majora's Mask also launched. I think the same day with
Yeah.
that. And it had like the little C nub stick, which I thought worked really well for
It
what it
worked, yeah, it was
was.
pretty good.
Um, I'm trying to think of the other games. I can't think of them
Let's see,
because I
I'll
have
throw
I still have
out
a bunch.
some Animal Crossing, Super Mario 3D Land,
Yeah, 3D Land was great too.
um,
Let's see if I have my case of games somewhere on here.
oh, Steam World Heist was really good on the 3DS. Let's see.
I never played SteamWorld.
Ah, man, that's good. I think it's on the Switch too.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can't quite remember where I put it, but yeah, I mean, I've got like the my two 3DSs, and then Kellen got the well, actually, I guess we have four.
Mhm.
So I have my two 3DSs. I've got well, no, that's a DS, I think. Yeah, that's a regular DS. Never mind, because I got him a regular DS. Um, and then we ended up finding the 2DS, which I thought
Ah,
was
the door
the
stopper.
door stopper. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I would say like must play games on the 3DS. Both of the Zelda remakes, A Link Between Worlds, Shovel Knight, Fire Emblem Awakening, um, Super Mario 3D Land, and then maybe some sort of RPG mixed in there. Something
Yeah,
like Monster Hunter or Bravely Default. I know there's like a lot of like
Bravely
SMT
Default was really
games.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Bravely Default a lot. That one was good. um, any last thoughts on the 3DS?
It's really great. It kind of like started the era of Nintendo getting off on the wrong foot, and
Yeah,
they managed to recover with the 3DS, but the Wii U just wasn't.
yeah. Let's talk about the Wii U. So a lot of people on Twitter this over the weekend and today have done the whole revisionist thing where people were actually talking that the Wii U was like the prime for Nintendo and it was like their golden era, which they had a lot of good games on the Wii U, but it was not a good time for Nintendo fans, I think. I mean, we were waiting
No.
forever for games to come out. Yeah, it felt like a just not a great time.
I mean, okay, let's kind of think like, okay, so the Wii U launched in 2012, right? It launched with Super Mario Bros. U, which was a generic looking Super Mario Brothers game. It launched with Zombie U, and
Zombie U was interesting. I played a
yeah,
little bit of it.
yeah. Zombie. I really enjoyed Zombie U for what it was, but it wasn't until 2013 that they got Super Mario 3D World, Wind Waker,
Yep.
and Pikmin 3. And those were like the three big games for 2013. And then after that, all you really had was Mario Kart 8, Smash, and then
Which I think was like kind of revered as like the weakest Smash, right? Because wasn't it just
yeah,
Smash Wii U, right?
yeah, just yeah, Smash, Super Smash Brothers for Wii U and 3DS.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, then they had like Splatoon and Xenoblade Chronicles X in 2015, and then Twilight Princess and Star Fox Zero in 2016, and that was really it for the console.
Yeah, and Star Fox was like not considered a great Star Fox game at all.
No, like it
Um,
was dry. Like there were
yeah,
not a lot of games coming out,
yeah. I mean,
and not a lot
Splatoon
of
was
third party
like,
support.
I mean, the fact that Splatoon law and that was kind of like the perfect like concept that like for this this tablet and TV kind of hybrid thing that they had going on. Like that was like the vision that they had
Mhm.
for these games. I think everything came into fruition with Splatoon, and then they obviously after that they moved on to the Switch. But yeah, I didn't. Did you get the Wii U at launch?
I got it a year after launch
Year.
when Super Mario 3D World came out.
Okay, okay. Which that I mean that game is incredible. Um,
Yeah,
but
really good.
yeah I didn't. So when did Splatoon come out? 2015.
2015.
Okay, so yeah, you had brought it over to my house and we played it and I loved it. Like I loved it so much I ended up getting like a Wii U like the next week. Um, so I got the Wii U and then yeah, I don't think there was anything else new out after that. Like I think I think the Wii U came with 3D World, so I had played a little bit of that,
Okay.
but I never actually like finished it. But I got Wind Waker, I got Twilight Princess, beat both of those, and then had Splatoon, and that was pretty much it. I don't think I had another Wii U game.
Yeah, because I'm seeing like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on here, Bayonetta
Skip
2,
that. Yep, skip Bayonetta
Pikmin
2.
3, uh, Pokken Tournament. Oh, Super Mario Maker. Do you ever get that one?
I never wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't really super into
See, I got that one.
building
I was
levels
just
and
never
stuff.
really into it. So I don't know. Like it was pretty dry. Like being a Nintendo
It was
fan in
extremely dry.
2016, or especially yeah, really 2015, but like 2016 too. It was kind of rough.
Yeah. Yeah, it was not the golden era of Nintendo at
No.
all. I mean, like we said, there was some decent, not decent. There were some really good games on the Wii U, but I mean, just the whole vibe with it, like the way like there was no third party support either. Like, I mean, the vibes were just horrible, for the Wii U.
Yeah.
Um,
Vibes were not there.
yeah, the vibes were not there. It was a cool console, but I mean, go back to what 2011 or 2012 when they had their E3 and you and I were both like we were watching that we're like
Like, what is this?
is this like an add-on? Is it just a tablet? And we had to go back and watch it and they're like no, it's a whole new console. Like the marketing, the
Marketing was
announcement was so
trash.
confusing. Oh, it was so confusing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was just such a misstep, and it killed the entire generation. Like it's crazy that one reveal,
Yeah.
like DOA, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean like even like the Xbox reveal was like so notoriously bad, but the Xbox One still, sold. I mean, obviously way better than the Wii U, which only sold 13 million units. Which is that's
like abysmal numbers.
That is
that's really
so
bad.
And then the fact that Nintendo could even bounce back and then get the Switch going, and never having to price drop it through this entire generation is absolutely insane. Yeah, the Wii U was a cool idea, bad marketing, bad announcement.
Too long between games. The games were good, but there was nothing like there was not a killer app, and the killer app didn't come soon enough.
Yeah, like I felt like Splatoon was like, for me, was like the killer app. Like I immediately went and got one after I played it on your console, but
yeah, like
yeah, just
if it would have launched with Splatoon and Mario Kart, or Splatoon in some single player game,
yeah,
and then had Mario Kart a year later, it would have. Actually, I don't know if it would have changed anything.
I don't think. I think there's the
I don't know.
the I don't know, but like also, I mean, if you go back and look at the Wii, like that only sold so well because like how many like grandmas and grandpas that were buying the Wii just to play Wii Sports, and that was it. Like if you go back and like look at the sales, like the actual like software sales of the Wii,
software sales aren't good.
Not super great compared to like the overall sales. So like people were buying the system, but they weren't like investing in it. They were just, dropping the money to play Wii Sports, and once they were done with Wii Sports, they weren't picking up Twilight Princess. They weren't picking up, some other games and stuff. Like I think I'm pretty sure Mario Kart Wii sold pretty well, but
I mean, let's pull. I got it up here. I got the numbers.
Okay, nice.
Let's look at it. Wii Sports, 83 million,
which is
as expected.
Yeah,
back in game. It's weird that it's not higher. Mario Kart Wii, 37 million. Wii Sports Resort, 33 million. Mario Bros. Wii, 30 million. Wii Play, 28 million. I mean, these all come like pack-in controllers, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Wii Fit, 22 million. Wii Fit Plus, 21 million. And then I would say the first real game on here, aside from Mario Kart and Smash Bros. And Super Mario Bros. Is Smash Bros. Brawl, and that one only sold 13 million.
Wow.
And then Super Mario Galaxy was 12.8 million. And like that's just so different than the Switch. Where like Animal Crossing is 44 million, Smash Bros. 33, Zelda 31, Super Mario Odyssey 27.
Yeah.
Like those are pretty crazy numbers. And then yeah, you're right. Like the Wii was mostly older people, towards like at least at the end of its life cycle, it was just older people picking it up for Wii Fit. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the hardcore people bought the Wii U. The hardcore Nintendo fans, but
yeah.
Yeah, the Wii U it's a cool system, and I appreciate for what it is, because like it is like the predecessor to the complete vision that Nintendo had for the Switch. So I appreciate it for that, but yeah, it was not the golden era of Nintendo. It was
golden era.
It was trying times for sure.
You could argue that like, and not from a sales perspective, but, and this might be a hot take, but Nintendo has struggled in the home console market.
They have. GameCube didn't sell well.
Yeah. And I don't even mean sales. I mean, no, I'm not going to say it.
Say it.
No,
it's a hot take.
I think their handheld games have been better than their console games up until the Switch, released. And I will say there are a lot of exceptions to that. Like a lot of really good GameCube games, a couple of good Wii U games, and then Nintendo 64 obviously having some really good ones. But
yeah,
I feel like they really excelled in the handheld market.
Yeah.
And that really showed with the 3DS versus the Wii U.
Yeah.
Like, they struggled with kind of splitting up their resources from a development perspective, and maybe it's just easier to develop games for a handheld system versus a home console, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. No, I agree with that.
You
Yeah, I
don't have
mean,
to
they're
agree.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like both. I feel like both their console and their handheld games like they were both good in their own right. Like I mean, like you know, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, like fantastic games.
Yeah, yeah.
Skyward Sword, for me not so much back in the Wii day, but I think it redeemed itself on the Switch. Um, yeah, agree.
Maybe that's just always been my preference.
What
And
handheld?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've always been a handheld guy
Yeah,
for Nintendo, at least.
yeah. I mean, I feel like that's yeah. I feel like that's where they've really, like I said, we've had some great home console games, but like it feels at home like when it's handheld, like
Feels
you
at
know
home when it's in your hands.
when it's in what's in my hands, and growing up with like I didn't have like the NES or the SNES. I did have an N64, but I mean I played so much Game Boy Color, like so much
Mhm.
Pokemon, so much Zelda, like and then jump into the Game Boy Advance and that being backwards compatible, with new stuff. It's yeah, it's handheld's always been
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
And Switch is both, and they don't have to
They don't
cut
split it up.
resources. They can just all developers can work on one system,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Ah, man. The Wii U, the
Wii U,
golden era.
the golden era, the arm. Would you say the armchair Twitter?
Yeah, armchair Twitter, developers or whatever.
Yeah, that like you said before the show started, like they didn't own this system. Like there's 13 million
Oh,
people. Like someone like you and I are like very like I don't know. We're in the minority of obviously people that owned a Wii U. Like
man, if you brought up the Wii U, you'd get beat up at school.
yeah, it's like with the Wii U. Like yeah,
I've had many debates with friends about the Wii U versus the Xbox, and I was a Wii U defender at the time. I was like, "Oh man, it's great. It's a really great console. You got two
yeah. And
screens."
my argument is always like, well, just get both, bro. Like if you want to play something on the Wii, just get the Wii U. Oh,
Yeah,
I don't really care for any of okay, then all right, that's fine.
I don't get it.
Yeah, you just play your Call of Duty because Call of Duty on the Wii U. I'm pretty sure it
Black
was
Ops 2
Black
was,
Ops 2. Okay,
yeah,
I don't know.
weirdly, but then they
Yeah,
weren't on the Switch.
yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe they got like burnt out. Or, I don't know. They got burned out or something. Um, any final thoughts on the Wii U or the 3DS?
Um, Mario Chase in Nintendo Land is still one of the most fun multiplayer games.
What game?
Mario Chase.
Mario Chase.
Yeah, you just play as a bunch of Mii's chasing each other
Oh,
or
okay.
chasing someone dressed up as no, you're chasing Mario, but like everyone who's chasing Mario is looking at the TV screen, and the person who's playing as Mario
Yeah.
is looking at the Wii U gamepad and using that to hide from
Oh, I don't think I
everybody.
ever played that game.
Oh man, it's a bang, like it's an absolute banger.
I think I was watching some sort of YouTube video and I saw what you're talking about and I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
So okay, that makes sense. And then what about what was that game where you like took a picture of your face and like it was like on the balloons and it looked like really bad and you had to like shoot them?
Was that Face Raiders?
Face rate. How do you know that?
Well, that might have been on the 3DS. That might have
that
been
was the
on
3DS.
3DS.
Yeah, yeah. It was on
Yeah,
3DS.
Face Raiders.
Face
That was like a
Raiders.
free. I think that came
Back
with the
in yeah.
3DS. Yeah.
Oh, Face Raiders. Interesting.
We would never see that on the Switch.
No, no.
It's too clean. Too clean.
Too clean. Do you think? Well, more out of the show. Do you think when the Switch 2 comes out, do you think they'll have a pack-in game at all, or do you think it's just going to be like the Switch?
I think if they have a gimmick, they will.
Okay.
Like a specific gimmick, and then they'll have a pack-in game to show it off.
I don't even know what gimmick they could even do at this point.
I don't know. Yeah, but like with the Switch, I would have expected them to have a pack-in game to show off the Joy-Cons, but at the end of the day, it's like
Well,
like
1-2 Switch should have been a pack-in game.
yeah, it should have been. But like the HD rumble is just okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
If
Yeah,
anything, it's
it was.
annoying because the rumble's too loud.
Yeah, I mean, it was novel, like when it first came out, but yeah, nowadays it's like whatever.
Yeah,
I
just
could kind of
just
take it or
rumble.
leave it. It's kind of like the 3DS eventually, or the 3D for the 3DS eventually. Like
Like eventually,
you just turn that slider
turn it
all
down.
the way down. But
And some games didn't even support it
yeah, some
by the
didn't.
end. It's just funny.
Nah, oh well. All right, guys. Well, my
Good
voice
riddance.
is getting completely shot, so we are going to wrap up the show. I mean, we're done anyways. We had a good conversation about the Wii U and 3DS and all that good stuff. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this trek down memory lane for these two systems. And is there any? There's nothing coming out this week, right?
No, nothing this week.
Okay. I'll plan on playing some more Dragon's Dogma. I think I'm gonna jump back into Demon Souls. And I might pick up Pepper Grinder. We'll see.
Nice.
Because I do want to check that out.
Yeah.
Nick, any last thoughts?
Nah, man. Just hope everyone's not too beaten up about the Wii U.
Yeah. Okay.
You'll be all right though.
Yeah. We'll get through it.
Yeah.
And we might get
We'll
something
get through it
this
together.
week. We'll see.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, man. Tomorrow will be perfect.
Hey, when one door closes, another door opens.
Hey.
You never know.
Just let me direct you to this door and we'll
and we'll silk song our way over there.
Yeah. There you go.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
All right, guys. Well, we will see y'all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll let YouTube algorithm pick one of my videos below for you guys to watch. Give it a click, and I hope you enjoy, and I will see you in the next video.